Hey guys, welcome back. So, I want to talk a little bit about session 16 of the solo RPG series, Lia. So, those who watch the series are pretty familiar that, well, we had some technical difficulties during that stream, right? So, about halfway through the session, I was coming back from sort of a bio break in the middle of the session and had a catastrophic failure with the PC. Uh, After much time and money spent trying to fix up everything, we're getting everything back on track. Right, the computer back working. Everything we've done some streams, so right, everything seems to be working out, and we're kind of getting back to where we were. So I'm going to pick up the live stream again, but I wanted to pick up on episode 17. So because of that, I wanted to give sort of a basic primer on what happened during this, basically chasing down a lead or goodbye Karjunton. That was episode 16, and that being sort of like the lost session. So I want to do just sort of a brief overview about like what I've collected from my notes and my memories about what happened, and then reconstructing, so that way we can move on rather than go back over it again. So what happened basically is that at the start of it, we paid off our community service debt for Lia in the morning. Fortunately, as part of that, paying it off to the captain did recognize that we were probably part of the Riverside Conservatory fire, and so we kind of gave him a short bribe, and then with the idea that basically, hey, don't tell anybody that you saw us until into business, right? And that's basically what that captain of the guard agreed to. So we hustled up and we left Karjunton with Delg in tow late in the afternoon. So we knew once we got outside that Delg knew a relative spot about the contact that he was looking for that was related to Harold and sort of the ongoing plot about Lia and Omer's blackballed research and the reason that they got kicked out of the conservatory to begin with all those years ago. And so we took it was late in the afternoon, so we went ahead and camped down the road outside of Karjunton just a bit. And it was during that camp, as we were setting things up and having sort of a conversation for the evening, making dinner and things of whatnot, that Delg revealed Ott was the person that he knows that's related to Harold. We were like, oh, well, that's incredibly interesting because for those who remember, Ott was our first traveling companion, person that basically Lia hired to take her from her village to Split Valley Oasis, looking for Omer. And actually, no, it was from Karjunton to Split Valley Oasis because she had already went to check on Harold and got sort of brushed off the gates of the conservatory. Now we know why, but at that point we didn't. And so we hired Ott because she already had a passing familiarity with Ott, and Ott's a well-traveled adventurer. And so the two of them sort of set off. We had no idea that Ott was also embroiled in sort of this plot. Now, when I was thinking about it, I thought, oh, that's weird that we didn't know that, didn't we? So she must be keeping it from us secretly. Then I thought back and I was like, no, I think most of the conversations that Lia's had with Omer about it, Ott was not present in those conversations. Like, I know when the first time that Lia met up with Omer, Ott had stayed behind to get them rooms at the inn, at the Oasis. And so she wasn't part of, like, that big discussion about everything that was going on and how they know each other, other than they know each other about their previous work together. So now I'm thinking about it, and I was like, I'm not sure how much we know that Ott for sure put together that Lia and what she knew were connected. We don't know. We do get this sort of sense from what Delg's told us and the sort of clues that we got from Harold is that everything's kind of very disparate. Everything's very cloak and dagger. It doesn't seem like a lot of the people that are involved have a very sort of comprehensive knowledge of everything that's going on. They have like their little slice of the pie that they're in charge of. So it's not necessarily that Ott didn't know. She might still be lying to us, or kept that hidden, sort of lie of omission. We don't really know yet. And we won't know that until we find her, basically. And so, yeah, so the next morning after they woke up from the camp, and started off on their journey, they ran across a fight between Rhymefire, which was the dragon wormling that they had already saved from Karjunton and sort of smuggled out, and some of Gimble's men, who was somebody, obviously, we worked with previously. And basically, characters helped Rhymefire and ensured there were no survivors, so their sort of interaction with that, their part that they played in that, was not going to get back to Gimble, because Gimble, for all intents and purposes, is friendly towards Lia, and Lia, I don't think, wanted to really submarine that relationship, because Rhymefire, and remember, Rhymefire's a dragon wormling, he's still, like, basically a kid dragon, and so didn't want to basically submarine the relationship because you have this kid dragon that doesn't really know how to take care of himself very well. But we do feel indebted to them, or specifically Omer feels indebted to Rhymefire. And so basically at the end, Rhymefire agreed to sort of join us and travel so they could get further away from Karjunton, so that way Rhymefire can find out wherever he's going to nest down, basically, and make his lair so he can grow up to be a big and strong dragon. And we continue traveling to the northwest, and determine through, some luck of the dice and some good rolls, that Delg has a really good idea of the sort of basic area that Ott should be in, or at least that he knew that she was in. Unfortunately, because of the computer crash, I lost basically all that information, right? I lost, so I had everything, we were mapping it out, mapping out the wilderness as we went, and unfortunately I lost that with the computer failure. So I've gone back and I've recreated it to the best of my abilities. I think it's pretty close, it's probably not perfect, but I think I got everything in there that's probably important. Let's see, what else? The most important part is that along that journey, we came across a minor noble's keep, which would turn out to be important later. So at the keep, we kind of turned west, and we're sort of investigating the area that Delg thinks that Ott is in. And we came across a place called the Regular Trout, which was sort of a traveler inn, and has a notice board. And we did a bunch of conversation, a bunch of RP with the innkeeper. We had some old winos that were sort of, staples of the bar, and talked to, I believe, a washerwoman. I think just one washerwoman who came in and sort of had this kind of piece things together as we try to find out if they know who Ott was and where she is and all that stuff. Found out that took off following an old mission that was on the notice board, like a really, really old one, probably the oldest one that was on there. And to the best of the innkeeper's knowledge, that was about tracking down basically a local treasure rumor. Now, it's our understanding that, or our belief at this point, is that Ott didn't necessarily just grab that and run with it. It didn't seem like a very Ott thing to do. Like, she would be the one who would take that mission on by herself. So we think that she was probably recruited by somebody who was interested in going after that notice. And what we do know is that notice was left by the noble that built that keep that we had passed 55 years ago. Didn't leave the notice 55 years ago, built the keep 55 years ago. And so we believe that the current noble in residence is probably a relative, and maybe the builder of the keep is still alive. We don't really have it sort of tamped down what exactly sort of species they are. So if they're human, maybe. If they're a younger race than that, probably not. Or an elf, they might still be alive. A dwarf might still be alive, right? For sure. So see if we can maybe get some more information out of that. So that sort of basically was the plan towards the middle and what we were going to sort of look at further on in the session. Now what ended up happening is that we grabbed some rooms at the Regular Trout, and to clean up and get some clothes washed and be able to head out to make ourselves presentable to go to the keep and see if we could get an audience with the minor noble in residence to get some more information about the mission and see if they know who's on it and all that sort of thing. So that's basically the plan, right? Where we ended up stopping. So basically, we traveled. We found out where we were going. We traveled there. We got to the place. We got some people who saw it, and we're just trying to put those pieces together as we sort of zero in and finish tracking her down at this point. And so yeah, that's basically session 16, the lost session. And so just to sort of wrap up for you guys, I've pieced together everything I could remember from the session. I think I got most of it. Hopefully I did. I just wasn't able to. The local recording I had was corrupted, and I wasn't able to, at that point, get. By the time I got the computer up and running, the VOD for that episode was already gone because it took so long to get the parts in, so I wasn't able to sort of download and save it at that point. So unfortunately, we just kind of have to make the best of the situation, but I don't want to completely redo that session because we did like half a session, and I think we got a lot of important information about sort of the plot that we didn't know already. And I wanted to make sure that we kept that sort of, like, we kept that part of the narrative intact. So yeah, if you want to see the future play sessions, I mean, we're gonna pick that up. My plan is to pick it up this week, but you know, fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. But if you want to see those sessions live, make sure that you follow us over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/RedRaggedFiend. If you want to catch up on everything that we've done so far, like I said, this next episode coming up is session 17. So you can hit the playlist in the YouTube channel. Of course, Red Ragged Fiend is the name of the YouTube channel. You can grab that entire playlist and watch it out. I mean, there's many hours of content there. So if you're looking for something to tide you over during work, or maybe while you do your hobby stuff, paint miniatures or whatever, it's be a good time for you. Let's see. And make sure, probably the best way to keep track with me now is to follow me on Twitter, again, Red Ragged Fiend. And that way you can get notified of any time that we're posting up the new blogs, that we're posting up new streams, right, that we're going live online, posting new videos to the YouTube channel, we're posting new downloads and DriveThruRPG or whatever, all that good stuff. That's the easiest way to sort of consolidate it, like get all that information. Or if you just want to chat with me and say, hey, what's up, you like the content, or you have ideas, or you bounce something off of me, connect, have fun. But that's everything for now, and I'll see you guys in episode 17, starting soon. Hey guys, have a good one. Bye.